fighter of the night. Could have won prime knockout of the night for me as well. I guess that went to Kenny. I'm guessing, yeah. But from top to bottom, the man to my left, Mr. Mams Taylor, has put together a card which we're of course very happy to promote. I think the Zone's delighted with it. Steak, our partner, very, very happy as well. And I think Prime had lots of prizes to give out to worthy winners. I thought the heavyweight fight, massive upset, you know, a huge upset in Greg Hardy and his performance. I must say personally, when I saw him on the scales, I thought he's going to come out swinging, but he's going to gas after a round, and then Mahmoud was going to take care of business. He proved us all wrong. He fought a fantastic fight. Congratulations to him. I'm sure Rahman will be back, and Greg Hardy's a great career in front of him. But now I think we're going to give a big round of applause for Dean the Great.
Yes, sir.
So Dean, I was just saying, and you're probably going to say I'm wrong on the first part and right on the second part. I'm saying it was a fight that could have been on any pro card. It was at a level that it was definitely the highest level Misfits fight we've seen. And I know you didn't respect the three-time Golden Gloves winner, but that is quite an achievement as a promoter. I'll say that your opponent was very equipped. You were in a lot of trouble in the fight. You were down. The second knockdown, I wasn't so sure about. I need to see that back, but you were in a lot of trouble. And the boxing gods and yourself, you found a punch. Just run us through, please, what you were thinking in that moment. I mean, you know, was it a move you were planning through the fight? Was it something you were setting up, or was it more a moment of there's a gap and man, go for it?
Shit. I mean, honestly, I was just listening to my coaches. My coaches was telling me to wait for it, set it up, keep popping that jab, keep putting it in his face, and I just wait on the right moment, seen that chin, and I cleaned it up.
You did indeed. Is it something you worked on in training the move?
Oh yeah, we worked on that in Mitch. You actually gonna see the knockout that I hit him with. We've been doing that in the locker room. It's exactly the same exact knockout that Ashton did in at his recent fight.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. So, I mean, I got the best coaches in the world. I'm ready to take on whoever.
And I mean, you are the man to beat now at this weight.
Champ.
Champ.
3 belts.
It was obviously a fantastic fight. I think everyone in the room, of course, has got the question on their lips. Would you like a rematch? Would you give a rematch? Would you do a rematch?
I mean, I already handled business. I'm moving on. You dig what I'm saying? So Adam was already ducking. After you see my performance today, he definitely don't want no smoke, because he just got that ass whooped by my opponent that I knocked out. You dig what I'm saying? So I mean, shit. Who's out there? Jarvis probably ducking. He probably went in his mom's basement or something. I don't know. Shit, he definitely don't want no smoke though. But
you go enjoy your.
But I'm gonna enjoy my.
Enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
For now.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Let me ask.
We'll figure it out.
Let me ask you, Mams. You are the matchmaking supremo. You know, let's say Dean wasn't sitting here. What are you thinking?
If Dean wasn't sitting here, I'd be like, where is he?
Right. On opponents though.
Honestly, even myself, I like to digest it, go back methodically.
Yeah, I'm not buying that. Come on, give me some names here, man. I mean, I'm not buying.
What are you working?
He's a great sales guy. It's like, but you always have ideas. You are phenomenal. You call me up at 2 a.m. and tell me I've got a fight. We've got to make this fight.
I think Jose Aldo is a possibility. Someone will bring. You know, I think he's a legend.
Shit, if he want to smoke, I mean, shit, whatever.
And
as you've seen, I didn't have to you offered me this fight. I could have fought somebody else, but I stepped up to the plate.
You didn't hesitate, and
right.
I respect that a lot. I think, you know.
Especially somebody that has more experience than me. Like you said he called me a street fighter. I just showed him what Dean the Great, what the Great can do. You dig? So
it was a war, and you won. Congrats, by the way. You won Fighter of the Night, Prime's Fighter of the Night.
Yeah, Fighter of the Night, baby.
Yes, sir.
Now where's my check?
For me, you won.
Check ASAP.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving till I get my check.
I might be here a while.
Questions.
Dean, very technically impressive fight against Waleed. Was that what you were expecting in there with him?
Honestly, as a man, I mean, I'm always admit to something. He was a lot. Well, I won't say a lot better, but he was better than I expected. But I mean, I just listened to my coaches, bro, and they masterclass in this shit. You dig? So I just listened to my coaches, and I on top of my talent, and we just put it together.
What went through your mind as you were getting up from the knockdown?
Shit, I said I gotta get my get back. Honestly, because I've never been knocked down before, so that was the first time and experience, you dig? But I'm a fighter, bro, so get knocked down, you gotta get back up and fight, bro. You know, the greatest has been knocked down, but they got back up and they whooped that ass, you know. So
he can't really speak English, so he'll probably need a translator. But what's the message to Jose Aldo if he's watching this?
You a legend, bro. I mean, you know, but I'd say just stick to the UFC, bro. You don't want no smoke.
Mams, I suppose it's worth getting a note in about this fight you announced just before the main event, KSI versus Dylan Dennis. Obviously, an interesting character, Dylan. Talk to us about how that deal got over the line.
Well, you know, there was a few options, and at the end of the day, I think they've been wanting to fight each other. There's some history there. They're always chirping on each other on Twitter and everything else. And it's Dylan is, you know, undefeated MMA fighter, and he's been wanting to fight. And I think a lot of people want to see him get beat up, and KSI is the man to do it. Maybe, you know. He
got a little beat up yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah, well, listen, I don't condone that, to be honest with you. Any of what happened, I got drinks all over the cowboy hats. With syrup, and we know one thing from yesterday is Dylan drinks his coffee with syrup. Okay.
Last one, is Scott Coker going to be in attendance, and what were the talks like with him over?
Absolute gentleman, such a fair guy, very very easy to work with, and yeah, he called tonight. We spoke and wished us luck for the event. Obviously, congratulated him on his new deal as well. Great budding relationship with Scott, lovely guy.
Thank you.
Dean over here. After you got knocked down, you went back to the corner. How did your coach Ivan kind of calm you down, get you back in the fight?
He just told me stay composed. I mean, it happened as part of boxing, but you know, I don't remember his exact words. What did you tell me, Ivan?
I told you forget what happened. Forget what happened that last round. Stay composed, calm down, let the knockout come.
That's what I did, didn't it?
Exactly that.
I waited on it, and I seen that chin, and I cleaned it up.
How did you manage to keep your composure? If that was the first time you ever been knocked down, was there a shock to you at all? How did you manage to stay in control?
I mean, overall, I'm an athlete. You know, I've been through it. I've been in wrestling matches. Like the top of the top. You dig what I'm saying? So I mean, wrestling and boxing is a little different, but at the end of the day, it's an individual sport and it's a combat sport. You know, so I had that experience with, you know, getting dropped and losing and then coming back. You know, so and you know, I overall I kept my composure and that was a game plan to stay calm.
And do you think you're giving Mams and Calla a bit of a difficult job here, trying to find your opponents now?
Honestly, yeah. I mean,
I got you.
But Mams got me, bro. I mean, I stepped up. He offered me to fight. I took it. Like I said, I didn't have to take the fight, but I took the fight. And I realized what this could do for my career after I win, which I did, that's what I did, you dig? So, you know, Mams set me up, said we would whatever, January, shit, next week, I'm like, whatever, bro.
Awesome, thanks, Dean.
Any other questions?
Question right here.
What's up, bro?
So I see you got another belt. Congratulations.
Thank you, bro. 2 more belts.
That's right. So are you about to collect belts like Infinity Stones, move up the classes, or are you just gonna start defending your titles a little bit and see where you go from there?
Shit. I mean, yeah. If somebody else in a different weight class wants smoke, we can run it too. I mean, take their belts. Shit, whatever. You know, I ain't ducking nobody.
Dean, you're gonna move up weight classes then. Who'd you target then, up above the weight classes?
Who do I target? I mean, shit, that's more of a question for Mams, really.
Yeah, well, I think you stay at this weight class
Stay in
for
my
a
weight
bit.
class, yeah.
There's a few interesting conversations and DMs I've been getting since that fight. So, listen, when Dean's this is his second fight with Misfits, and already he's a superstar, you know. So people, it's not what. Of course, people are hesitant because he's a talented, gifted young man, but ultimately he's got the buzz right now. And when you're the champ, you're going to have challenges. So that's not something I'm too worried about. And they're coming out the woodwork already. I don't like spoiling surprises. You go.
In terms of planning, we're looking at obviously 004 is January the 14th. We'll be going 005 late Feb, most likely in the United Kingdom. 006 will be March in the United States again. So we'll work around that, and Mams is already putting the cards together there excitedly.
Yeah.
Mams, could you talk us through a little bit what happened with Tyron Woodley? He was very vocal on social media this week. I know he leaked a bit of some sort of a contract. Is anything legitimate with what he said?
I think. Look, I really like Tyron as a person. Great guy. His team, again, wonderful. It's tough because in this space you want to make as much noise as possible to get people's attention, to get the fans to demand a fight, and so on and so forth. But look, it didn't make sense ultimately because he's lost a few fights in a row. Respectfully, obviously KSI and Jake Paul is the inevitable fight that's coming in 2023. And it was a difficult one because KSI beats Tyron in any fashion less spectacularly than the way that he got knocked out by Jake. It's a lose-lose, you know? So we wanted someone with a winning record. We wanted, and it just made more sense that way.
Calla, obviously as a boxing guy, coming into this, looking at tonight's card, obviously for a fan, like a casual fan, what amazing. But perhaps the matchmaking, like we saw a lot of first round knockouts, perhaps do we need to start tightening up the matchmaking a little bit now and not having certain like mismatches in there?
You're talking about me to him.
Oh, you're the match. Oh, yeah.
No, let me run through that. I mean, if I look at the normal traditional boxing card, of course you've got more rounds. Yeah, that's the obvious part. But man, I was entertained from start to finish. I honestly promote 25, 30 events a year around the world, and I sometimes get a bit late to the venue and I miss one or two fights. I will not miss a Misfits fight. I'm here first man in because they're all fun, right? And they're fun for me because it's fresh. But in terms of I mean, we obviously saw a great heavyweight fight. It was a big surprise. He'll be back, by the way. Those L's can turn into from losses to learn. That's a very important lesson. So we saw upsets. So in terms of matchmaking, when you get upsets, that's what a matchmaker does. He puts them up as that. And I know Dean's sitting there, but if I looked at it on paper as a boxing purist, and once again,